Well, guys, this is the day. I'm going to see if the Remington front sight that I've dovetailed into this Army San Marco will do the trick. My first go around, I went ahead and loaded it up with 20 grains of my homemade gunpowder that I made with the juniper charcoal. And before I go any further, for those of you that have not seen it, Hoffman Reproductions, in his channel, he's got some documentation explaining how and why Swiss black powder is probably the cleanest burning gunpowder and all of that good stuff. And I'm going to tell you right here, what I'm doing with my homemade gunpowder is I'm keeping everything local. Since I teach this at rendezvous here locally, making your own gunpowder, I want to be able to use local woods. And I understand, you know, buckthorn alder is the best wood to use. But in my opinion, when Swiss is aging that stuff for 3 years to get the optimal drying down to the cellulose level, to me, it's not worth my time and energy to do that, although I do comprehend that completely because I also build longbows, wooden longbows, and I understand harvesting Osage orange, you know, during the February month of the year because the water level in the Osage orange is at its lowest. And I understand about kiln drying wood and how drying down to 5% destroys the wood on a cellulose level. I comprehend all of that. But for me, I'm just not going to go any further than what I've done because I want to be able to use local hardwoods or local woods in making homemade gunpowder because, you know, let's face it, friends, when the shit hits the fan, you're not going to wait 3 years for your wood to dry out to make gunpowder. That's just the way life is. So anyhow, I'm going to get the camera turned around. I'm going to fire 3 shots. I'm going to start off once again at 20 grains. Apologize for the breeze. It's New Mexico. It's to be expected. So sit back and enjoy, and we'll see if what I did dovetailing a Remington sight into this Army San Marco. Somebody in the comment section made a comment about it's not a Colt. I understand. It's a copy. So let's quit pulling the needle out of someone's eye. So anyhow, let's get going. Well, looks like I'm shooting low, so I'm going to spend a little bit of time following that front sight, and we'll shoot the next 3. Stand by. Okay, that last shot sounded a little weak, and looking at the target, I could tell that really impacted low. But I went ahead and filed some off of the front sight, the height, and I'm pretty sure I have to do some more, but I also moved the front sight a little bit over to the left. So let's see what the next 3 shots are going to do. And just in case you may be wondering, I did forget my safety glasses. And second of all, I didn't clean out the cylinder, any residual oil. I didn't clean didn't snap off any caps. That's my excuse, and I'm sticking to it. So let's turn the camera to the sight and see where these 3 impacted, if we can see them. Well, it looks like they're in the same general area. So I'm going to do some more filing and get right back at you. Stay tuned. Well, I did drift the sight some more, and I thought I had drifted it too much. That's not too terribly bad at this point, but I can still see I need to come up with the height. So I'm going to go ahead and do some more filing, and I'll get right back with you. Okay, I removed a little bit more of the metal on the top of the sight. Before I go any further, I think what I've been doing is I've been keeping the top of the front sight even with the top of the V-notch. This time I'm going to try to put half of the height of the front sight in the V-notch. So basically what I'm getting at, the top of the front sight, I'm going to keep it above the back of the V-notch. That should raise it up a little bit. And I went ahead and just tapped the dovetail sight over just a little. Hopefully that didn't mess anything up. But let's take the next 3 shots and we'll see where they impact. Okay, that first shot I can see from the bench that it went way high and way left, and I'm not sure which shot cut the bullseye on the bottom, but looks like I still need to go up a little bit more. And when I get it into the editing program, I'll see where that third shot went. I'm going to go ahead and cut it back to 18 grains and see if there's just much of a difference. Stay tuned. Well, the end results were, looks like they're all over the place. I'm going to go ahead and mark those off, reload. Obviously, I still need to do some more filing, and I might have to just move that sight back over just a little bit more. Let me make those adjustments and get reloaded, and we'll try it again. It should also be noted on the last cylinder, I did not put any of my fluorescent yellow fingernail polish at the top of the sight. This time I did, and I could clearly pick up that front sight a whole lot better than I did the last one. Don't know that that really made any difference, but hell, that's my excuse. I'm going to go mark those off and shoot the next 3 and see where they impact. I may file down that front sight just a hair. I think the left and right is going to be satisfactory for me at this point, bearing in mind that this is actually a 2-inch circle and my front sight is buried right in that front sight. In fact, when I look down the barrel, I can't see that red dot or the bullseye at all. But let me go mark those off, and I'll think about the front sight as I walk up and mark them off. Okay, did a little bit more filing, profiled it the way I like to have a front sight, put on a fresh coat of fluorescent yellow fingernail paint, and let's take the next 3 shots and see what happens. Well, that first shot, I went ahead and repacked the forcing cone. It looks like one of them cut the other 2 holes, and it looks like one went far left. So I'm going to get reloaded and try this again. Not going to change anything this time. Well, as you can tell, the breeze is picking up a little bit more. I'm going to make these my last 6 shots. Got 20 grains of my homemade gunpowder that's got juniper as the charcoal. And depending on where these impact, I'll have to think about things. I may just be happy with them. But let me get these 6 shots downrange, and we'll take a look at the target together. And before I do that, I just want to reiterate, I picked up 4 of my gas checks, and there's still 0 evidence of any unburnt powder on them. So I think I'm pretty convinced that a couple of shooting sessions back, when I was having unburnt powder left behind on my wads, I think it's because I had them sitting in the sun. I've made a conscious effort to make sure they're in the shade, and I haven't had any problem with any unburnt powder. So let me get these downrange. I'll turn the camera to the target, and we'll see just how embarrassing this might be. Stay tuned. I pulled that one. In fact, looking at it right here, it went high, but right over the bullseye, just high. Let me check that. Barrel's clear. Not sure what happened. Barrel's clear again. I am using old caps right now. I found a tin of number 11 CCIs. That's my excuse. Well, as you can tell, 4 hit the target, 2 were in the bullseye just about, and the one I called went high. So I'm going to just go ahead and reload. I've got a fresh tin of caps right here, so I'm going to try those and see if that is what might have been the problem, because I can't understand at this point right now why those 2 shots sounded very weak. I just don't have any explanation for that right now, just simply because I've been reloading everything consistently. And I know my powder is dry because it's coming out of a very fresh can of gunpowder. So let me get reloaded one more time, and I'm going to keep the camera fixed on the target because I want to see what these things are going to do. Stay tuned. Just a note for myself, I've got powder in all 6 cylinders, and I have 2 that are a lot less than the other 4. So probably my mistake is that I'm not, or at least I hadn't made sure that my powder flask is throwing the same amount of powder. So let me, I'm going to dump this out and try it again. Okay, these will be the last 6. I double checked to make sure that I had equal amounts of powder. At this point, I'm not really convinced that it's older percussion caps, but I do have Remington number 11s. They're fairly fresh, but let's see what happens. And obviously, depending on where these impact, I'll have to decide if I need to do anything further. And don't forget to like and subscribe, and don't forget to share this with your bestest of buds. Enjoy the last 6 shots, and everybody have a wonderful day. Bye.